I just wasn't feeling myself and definitely stalled the live a little bit. But for everybody tuning into the live, what is going on, everybody? It is so good to see each and every single one of you. For everybody tuning in, for the first 400 people, make sure that we are allowing to make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen, everybody, as well as make sure that we're sharing this live out with a handful of friends. We are just trying to get up to 100,000 likes, as that will really help. That will really help share out the live with as many people as possible, as well as make sure that you're sharing this live out with a handful of friends yourself. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm probably making no sense. And spam that chat. What is going on, Eleanor? What is up, Chester? For the first 650 people in here, it is so good to see you all. We are going to go and get my main account up here as a guest, just so, we could get all the people in here from the Noti gang on the main. So if everyone would just kind of give me a second to go and do that. We got the main account loading in right now. There we go. And if you are MAGA, if you voted for Trump, go ahead and hop in that queue for me. What is up, Sarah Ortiz? What is up, Victoria? What is up, Brooke and Stryker? What's going on, Marina? What's up, Pam? What's up, Let, Macy, Kimmy? What is going on, everybody? It is so good to see each and every single one of y'all. But okay, we are going to go and get our first guest of the day up in here. One thing I will just simply ask of you guys is to please not troll if you're in that queue. We're just looking for actual debaters. So if you're a liberal, if you voted for Kamala Harris, if you supported Biden, if you're anything but a Trump supporter in America that voted for the Orange Menace, leave that queue. But if you voted for Trump and you're over 18 and you're in America, hop in that queue. We're going to get that first guest up of the day. Here we go, everyone. Just go and give us a moment to load them in. But yeah, I appreciate everyone in here. You guys are early as hell. What is up? Did you vote for Trump?
Hi. Actually, I'm not American, but I wanted to get your view on something.
I'm so sorry. We are just going to go ahead and hold those rules pretty strict until we get, the debates underway. What's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, just wanted to know, did you think Harry's apology was good enough?
I could give my thoughts on Harry's apology at a time of my choosing. I feel like I've already spoken about my thoughts on everything that had gone down. But today we are here just to talk about why individuals voted for Trump. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't. Just wanted to know your opinion. Cheers.
Have a good one. We're gonna go ahead and get the next guest up here. We got the Joe loading in. We got the we got the Joe loading in. Everyone, just go ahead and give us a minute. What is going on? The Joe, did you vote for Trump?
What's up, man? Yeah, I did.
Okay, how do you?
18.
18.
May of 2006.
Phenomenal. So why'd you do it? Why'd you vote for Trump?
Okay, can I just ask a quick question real quick?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Why do you call Trump a fascist?
Well, I can call Trump fascist because I believe that he would meet like a lot of the pillars of fascism.
Okay.
We could go through it if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not gonna lie. I don't have the pillars of fascism memorized, so I'm gonna have to look them up.
Okay, do you mind if I just give my concern to that?
Give your concern to that? I mean, sure, but
Like,
preferably
why
like you to
vote?
tell us why you voted for Donald Trump.
Well, okay, I want to focus on the fascism thing real quick. So historically, Benito Mussolini was considered a socialist, right? And his ideologies were very similar to Hitler, who was a fascist. I don't know if I could say that on your live, but you know. So that's just kind of my thing about fascism is like I wouldn't call Trump a fascist or anybody on the Republican Party.
I do. I think it's okay to call him a fascist. The reason why I say that is, I mean, so I'm on Google right now. You just got to type in the 14 defining characteristics of fascism. And I believe that Donald Trump aligns with a significant portion of these to qualify him as a fascist in my mind. And we could kind of go through them. Like the first pillar is powerful and continuing nationalism. I mean, he kind of creates his own version of nationalism, saying that we need to have great patriotism in our country, put God back in schools, and we need to impose tariffs on all of our allies and distance ourselves from everyone else in the world so we could focus on America and kind of do his own thing with it. The second one is a disdain for human rights. I mean, I think that him opting to overturn Roe v. Wade, rescinding that back down to the state, which has led to 66 million American women and girls not having access to abortion, is a violation and which impedes upon their human rights, as well as there's other miscellaneous concerns that are associated there. And then his third point here is something that I find very resemblant in him. It's the identification of enemies as his unifying cause. He used the enemies, quote unquote, of migrants and undocumented migrants, lying on them, saying that they're eating pets and dogs, saying that they're coming here to grape your wife, kidnap your children, and their MS-13 gang member P3DOs, to kind of unite prejudiced white Americans around that hate, around that difference. And then on top of that, dehumanizing them by calling them things such as aliens to get them to support him while doing nothing to fix the issue that's causing undocumented migration into America in the long term. The fourth point is, of course, supremacy of the military. I mean, he said that he might use our military to invade and annex Greenland, and he says that he wants to fund it even more and more and more and more. The fifth is rampant sexism. He emboldens grape culture. He graped Each and Carroll. The sixth is controlled mass media. I know that he does want to control the media. He does not respect first constitutional rights. He called CNN and MSNBC illegal, which was a complete disdain for the rights of the companies. The seventh is obsession with national security. Think about the border wall. Think about all of the policy that he has proposed or at least talked about to keep our country secure from the foreign invaders. A really good example of this would be the reinstitution of the Alien Enemies Act from the 18th century, where you could deport individuals without due process under the association that they're invaders from another country. And I mean, like, those are just like the first 8. I could go through the last couple points, but I mean, I feel like this is a natural break
Okay,
point
yeah,
where I
okay,
could kind of
yeah.
shoot the mic back to you and tell you why you voted for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris.
Okay, well, I mean, so one thing was abortion. I honestly didn't really like the fact that he decided to just leave it up to the states, because it's kind of it doesn't really work then. It's like, if it's kind of pointless. You may as well just say abortion should be legal in the U.S., because most people are probably just gonna drive out of their state and just get an abortion somewhere else. A lot of people who live in like the northern states, like in New York, will probably just like, if it would, let's just say New York was a Republican state and
Okay.
abortion was banned there, they'd
So
probably
you're,
just
so
either
you're
drive to
condemning
Canada
you're
or.
condemning him for the action. So what made him the better candidate?
Honestly, I didn't really like I like his stance on immigration, and I really liked that he was gonna finally finally do something about it, because there was a lot of illegals that came over the border under Biden and Harris's presidency.
Are you saying that you agree with his plan of mass deportation?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, why is it better to deport an undocumented migrant compared to offering them a pathway to residency or citizenship in our country?
Okay, well, first of all, they broke the law by breaking into the country illegally. Okay, and second off, like
Wait, is that your
it's
only reason? It's like they entered
no, no,
into
no, I
the
was
country
actually going to
undocumented
continue.
with the use of undocumented means. Therefore, they deserve to be deported, even though that places America last, as it hurts our economy, it hurts average qualities of life, so it reduces the size of our labor force,
Okay,
meaning
I was
that
actually
we
going
can't
to finish
industrialize
and
America
you
as fast
interrupted
as
me,
we could.
but
Otherwise, it slows
you can go on.
GDP growth, and there's humanitarian concerns of the migrants. Like, is that it?
Can I just finish real quick?
Yeah, my
Okay.
bad.
I was in the middle of something. It's all right. But like, okay, the thing is, I don't really have much of a problem with like illegals, like immigrants coming into our country. But I feel like the reason why we have an immigration process is not because of these people who like are coming to the country and working and supporting their family, right? Like I have no problem with that. But the thing is, we need to enforce.
Oh,
We need to
you're not
enforce.
answering my question.
But I was trying to finish the first thing I was saying before you interrupted me.
I didn't interrupt you. No, I asked you to name one reason why mass deportation is better than offering a undocumented migrant a pathway to residency or citizenship. What's the
Okay.
answer to that question?
Okay. Because they broke the law, and I believe
They broke the law.
they should have tried to come in through the legal process, right? I will admit a legal process is quite slow.
Okay, we could talk about that later. I just want to know the reasons. So, one reason why you think that mass deportation makes more sense than mass amnesties because undocumented migrants broke the law. Do you have any other reasons?
Okay. Well, yes. Okay. This is gonna take like at least like just a minute. So do you mind just letting me speak here for just a minute? Okay.
For
Please
sure.
don't
I
interrupt.
just want to know like all of the
No, you're good,
reasons why
man.
you think that mass deportation is better for America than offering undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship. So far, you've given me one reason, saying that the undocumented migrants broke a law by entering with use of illegal means. Give me all the other reasons.
Okay, so this is kind of like a big reason. It's not that I have a problem with the people who are trying to come here, work, and support their family. I have a problem with the people who are coming who are criminals, and it's not a lot of them. Like, let's just be real, it's not. But the thing is, if we don't enforce that law for everybody, then it becomes a mess, and where it's like other illegals who are coming here that are, let's just say, bad apples are gonna just be flowing into our country. And even though it's a small amount, that's still not good. So I believe we should enforce it for every illegal that comes into our country so that those bad apples don't leak in.
Okay. So far you've given me two reasons. The first reason you said that mass deportation is better than mass amnesty is because they broke the law. And the second reason you said is basically hinting at if we were to offer all undocumented migrants in our country mass amnesty, well, then we've had more undocumented migrants come into our country that have done like violent things. So do you have any
Yeah.
other reasons?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay. So I'm going to start with your second concern and then we're kind of front to back. So with your second concern, I think it's false. I think it's the opposite way around. I think if we were to offer all undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship while not allowing undocumented migrants that have committed violent crimes that same pathway, that we would be screening the undocumented migrants that are already in America for past violent offenses. And I think that's really like the only screening process that we should have for immigration into America. And I think that this should also be applied to all new legal migrants. The reason that we have any migrants entering into America with use of illegal means today is because of how bad the legal means of entry into our country are, how long they take, and how much they cost. So if we were to completely reinvent the wheel and offer not only the nonviolent undocumented migrants in America a pathway to residency or citizenship with simple screening for prior violent offenses, but also do that same process for all the new migrants that want to come into America, well, then all of a sudden undocumented migration plummets and we have less bad actors in our country. So I'd actually argue that the second point you brought up is a reason why we should do mass amnesty and a new, quicker, fast legal process of migration for all, as it would reduce the amount of violent offenders in America. So now, to respond to responsibility for the most part on our government for absolutely neglecting the legal processes of migration into America for all of modern American history. And I believe that that is the burden of our government to fix. And I don't think that you merely saying, well, they broke the law trumps the concerns of reducing violent offenders in our country, trumps the concerns of expedited GDP growth, $100 billion additional dollars in revenue per year for our government, which is what undocumented migrants pay in taxes, or the increased size of our labor force that helps reindustrialize our country. We're supposed to enforce laws to make America greater for everybody in it, okay? And we typically get rid of laws that do the opposite of that, okay? And mass deportation is one of those things that does the opposite of that. It hurts our country. It places it last, and it places everybody in it last for the concerns that I just listed.
Okay, well, here's the thing. First of all, we already had a ton of illegals come over the border, right? Like, let's just be real. That was a problem.
What does this respond to in the argument I gave you?
I kind of have a Gen Z attention span. I kind of already forgot, but
okay, I could repeat it in like two sentences.
Yeah, because
So a new, quick, fast, expedited pathway to residency or citizenship reduces the amount of violent offenders in America, and it's significantly better for America's economy and everybody in the American economy. So I don't think that we should enforce mass deportation, as it hurts America's economy. It cripples our labor force, as well as the industrialization of our manufacturing sector, while also forgoing a lot of GDP growth and additional government revenue brought in by taxes paid by undocumented immigrants.
Okay, first thing I want to say that I definitely agree with you with is our immigration process should be way easier, right? Like in some cases, I think it can take like years to do, right? But I think something I'm gonna have to disagree with you with is, like, first of all, under the Biden-Harris administration, a lot of illegals already came in, so I think we have to settle that first, right? And then
I'm so sorry. What point of my argument are you responding to? I kind of feel like you're just saying words.
Well, okay, well, hang on. Did illegals not come over the border during Biden-Harris's administration?
Let's call undocumented migrants undocumented migrants. I'm so sorry. What argument is this responding to and debunking? What position did I give you that this is responding to?
When you said we should rather have mass amnesty than mass deportation.
Okay, and you mentioning that a lot of undocumented migrants have come into our country in the last 4 years responds to my argument how?
Okay, they came over the border illegally.
Okay, yeah, and I've already responded to that point, so now you're just restating your argument.
Just can I finish real quick?
Okay. Of course.
Okay, I think since they came over the border illegally, I'm gonna have to disagree and say, well, since they broke the law and since we shouldn't have tolerance for that.
We shouldn't have tolerance for people that break the law?
Yes.
You made
If
a
they are
felon
not
president.
American citizen, they
You
should
made
be
a felon
deported.
president.
Okay, well, if you think that he's a felon, then why isn't he in jail right now?
Wait. Are you saying that he's not a felon?
Well, then why isn't he in jail?
Okay, how much money do you want to bet that he's a felon?
Well, what is a felon? Describe me the definition.
Somebody convicted of a felony in a criminal court.
Okay, he was convicted, right? But he's not in jail right now. So
Okay, I didn't
was
say
charged with a
I
crime.
didn't say he's in jail. I said he's a felon.
But he was charged with a crime.
So he
but
was
he's
charged
not
with a
in
crime
jail.
and he was found guilty. He was
So
convicted.
he's not a criminal.
He is. Yes, he is a criminal. Yes.
Criminals go to jail, though.
Wait, are you saying that all criminals go to jail?
Most do. Yes.
Okay, so every crime in America is punishable by jail time necessarily? See
Yes.
what I mean? No. Wait, dude, I'm so sorry, man. If you're going to argue that he's not a felon because he's not in jail, well, listen
I'm
to
saying
this,
he's
man.
not- I'm
He
saying-
is a felon. He was convicted of 34 felonies, but he wasn't sentenced with any jail time.
Well, he's not. I said criminal, and you said felon. So he's
Wait,
not a
felons
criminal.
are criminals.
No, but criminals go to jail. so
Define
no,
criminal.
felons are not
Define criminal.
somebody who broke the law and is in jail.
Okay, so all criminals are in jail.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think you know what a criminal is because I think that a criminal is somebody that's found guilty of a crime.
Okay. How about?
Why-
well, if he's
is that-
found guilty,
did you
then
think
why
that
isn't
all
he in jail?
sentences for crimes would necessarily include jail time?
Okay. Well, no. Hang on. Yes. If he's a criminal.
That's wrong. You have a very wrong belief about how the criminal justice system in America functions. Not all crimes or are like felonies in America would carry a minimum sentence that requires jail time.
Okay. Well, if he's a criminal, why?
Wait.
isn't he-
Can you agree to that? That not all crimes require a minimum sentence that includes jail time?
Repeat that again. I'm sorry.
That not all crimes carry a minimum sentence that requires any time in jail. No, think of the galaxy.
No.
You can't agree with that?
I'm sorry.
So then I think
lost
you
me.
need to get an education.
All right. I mean.
So once again, my question is, do all crimes carry a minimum sentence that requires time in jail?
No.
Precisely. Not all crimes require a minimum sentence that requires time in jail.
But he
The
wasn't. there's a
34
big-
felony
okay, but rape
convictions,
is a
shut
big-
up. The 34 felony convictions that Donald Trump was convicted of did not carry a minimum sentence that included time in jail. So when you tell me that he's not a criminal or he's not a felon because he didn't go to jail, but then you agree that not all crimes carry a minimum sentence of jail time, you look like you're a little silly. So can you just admit to the silliness so we could set it aside and move on? Go ahead and say, Dean, I'm so sorry for being silly. Unmute. I sent you an invite to unmute.
Oh, my bad. I was on mute.
So Joe, say it with me. Dean, I'm sorry for being silly.
No, I'm not doing
Do I
that.
need to explain your silliness to you again? I'm going to go ahead and explain your silliness to you again.
I-
Because you
okay, I
said
admit-
he's
okay,
not a
I
criminal
admit
or he's
I
not a
was-
felon. One moment. I'm going to
I admit I
No.
was
I'm
wrong.
going to go and explain your silliness to you again. Because you said he's not a criminal, he's not a felon because he hasn't spent any time in jail. Okay. Well, not all crimes, not all felonies require jail time.
Okay, I admit I was in the wrong.
Okay. Thank you for conceding your silliness. What's next?
Okay, I mean, so what is your stance on abortion right now?
That every single woman and girl in America should have elective lethal access to abortion for the first 20 weeks of pregnancy, and every rape victim or woman who's pregnant that can lead to her death through medical complications should have access to lethal abortion at any point in their pregnancy.
Okay, so, all right, let me ask this: are you a Christian?
Am I Christian? No, I'm not a Christian.
Okay, guess what percentage of the country is Christian?
I'm actually pretty sure it's not a majority anymore. But
It's
a lot of
actually
people.
67%.
You know what? I think you're right. I think you're right. I think I thought it was a minority now, and then I think I Googled it and it told me that same stat. I remember that 67% number. Okay,
So
67% of people in America are Christian.
Okay, so 60% of the people in America are Christian,
Yeah.
right? So I think the majority would agree with me that life begins at conception.
Well,
'Cause
I'm not a
there's-
Christian, and I agree with you.
You think life begins at conception?
Yes.
So you think that a woman should be able to abort, let's just say a fetus at like a week in, or 6 weeks in?
Yes,
But that's after conception,
it is.
and you said life begins at conception.
Yes. So they're killing it.
So they're killing life.
Yes.
Okay, so would you say that killing life is murder?
No.
No.
I define murder as the unjust killing or
I
termination.
remember that from Jubilee, bro. I
You-
remember
wait,
that.
you don't think ending life is murder either.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
You don't think ending life is murder.
Indie? What?
You don't think killing life is murder.
I think killing life is murder.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
When's the last time you ate a hamburger? You hypocrite.
Yo, bro, you want to go into veganism now?
You're the one that said ending life is murder. Yeah, I didn't say that. Why are you blaming me for the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Okay, how about this? I'll rephrase ending human life.
You don't think that either.
Yes, I do.
Is self-defense murder?
Yeah, it is. Well, no, not really.
No. Another point. When a doctor pulls a plug on a brain dead patient in a hospital, are they a murderer?
No.
No. So you don't even think that the definition of murder is killing human life.
Okay, but as Charlie Kirk said, and I'll quote from Jubilee. Okay, yo, don't make fun of Charlie Kirk, bro. That's offensive.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right. I'll let it slide this time. All right, but no, but the brain waves in that. Let's just say there's an elderly person dying at the hospital, and they have very small brain waves, right? Like not like and there's not a chance that those brain waves are going to go up. And in the womb, there's a chance that there's a 100% chance that those brain waves are going to go up in the fetus.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and start my live on YouTube. I think that you're trying to make a point here, and honestly, Chad, I want to allow you an opportunity to make the point. But this conversation is just too damn good that I think this needs to go on YouTube about right the hell now. So if you would just give me a minute to start that YouTube stream, that would be great, quite frankly. For everybody tuning in on YouTube, welcome in. It's good to have you in here with me today. We're already starting our debates for the day with 100 Trump supporters. We have our first Trump supporter up on the line. His name is Joe. Me and Joe have already had a little bit of a conversation about abortion, and Joe is giving me an argument right now insofar as why I should be pro-life. So, Joe, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic back to you, kind of just, reiterate how we got here and give me your position why I should be pro-life. Let's hear it, Joe.
Okay, well, I believe so. I assume most of the country's Christian. Right?
Okay.
I'll rephrase. Okay, and I believe that God says that life begins at conception.
Okay, well, no, that's not a Christian view. That's a scientific view. So life begins at conception. That's a fact.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So then, aren't you killing life?
Yes. When you get an abortion, when you get a lethal elective abortion, you're killing life.
Okay, so why is that a good thing?
Okay, well, I never said abortion's a good thing. All that I'm saying is that abortion's not wrong. I find it to be morally permissible. Okay,
well, actually, so do you mind if I quote a verse from the Bible?
I don't know what the Bible's going to do for you here. Is this verse that you're going to quote from the Bible just say abortion is wrong?
No, actually, I have a question. If I go to because I'm doing this on my phone, if I go to another app, will it exit? You'll
stay in the live. I just won't be able to hear you until you come back on this app. But just describe the Bible verse to me. You don't even need to quote it. Just tell me what it says. I'll go get
my laptop. You mind if I take like 30 seconds?
I mean, sure, but like, what verse do you want to quote to us? Like, what is it about?
Okay, here I can say it. Here, let me just give me 30 seconds.
Okay, sounds good. For everybody tuning in on TikTok, for the 6.7 thousand people in here, welcome, and it's so good to see you all. I would just like to reiterate this. We are getting a bunch of bans on TikTok. The YouTube stream never gets taken down, though, so if this live randomly ends, all you got to do is go to the link tree in my bio, click on YouTube, go to the live section, and you'll see me on live on YouTube. It gets banned so much, but of course, the YouTube stream never goes down. So while he's looking for his Bible verse, we're going to go ahead and thank 3 donors. First and foremost, for the first donation of the day, Miss Jasmine with a $20 donation over on Venmo. Jasmine says, "Love you, Dean. Hope all is well. Don't forget to take some self-care days. You deserve it." Thank you for the love, Jasmine. Honestly, I take self-care nights after my stream. When I'm really feeling it, I just make myself a nice steak. Thank you for the love, Jasmine. I'll put that towards the steak fund. Then Dean with $1 on Venmo, calling me a soy boy. Thank you for your money. I'm going to donate that to Planned Parenthood. Phenomenal. Awesome. All right. Well, we're waiting on that Bible verse. Joe, did you get it for me?
Yeah, by the way, my name's not Joe. I just thought that was a fun name to put on TikTok. Okay, so in Jeremiah 1:5, it says, "I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations." So, okay, let me ask you this. If he says he knew you before you were made in the womb, why is it once you are beginning to be made in the womb that it's not life?
Okay, this is so interesting. So you're trying to give me an argument rooted in the Christian Bible that life begins at conception. I think I could be completely misinterpreting your argument.
Yes.
Is that the argument that you're giving me? So then you're asking me why it's not life?
I'm asking you why it is not a life. Yes.
So I told you that I think that life begins at the moment of conception. So the right answer would be it is a life. But I don't think it's a life because of anything that the Christian Bible says. I think it's alive at the moment of conception. Do I need to say that for a third time? See, thank you for the galaxy over on TikTok.
Life begins as conception, right?
Yes, life begins at the moment of conception. Now, where do we go from here?
Okay, so then why is it okay to abort life?
Because it's not always wrong to end it. It's not always wrong to end life. Do you think it is?
Well, in self-defense, as you mentioned, yeah, that's okay.
But if unless you're defending yourself, it's wrong to kill a life?
Yes, but how are you defending yourself?
Okay, let me ask you a
against the child in the
question.
womb?
Let me ask you a question. What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
I don't, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. So the last time you went to Chick-fil-A, did you have to defend yourself from a chicken that was trying to kill you before it was okay to kill it, chop it up, put it on the grill to serve to you in a little cardboard box with a side of Chick-fil-A sauce and ketchup?
Okay, well, can we agree that a chicken is different than a human?
We can agree. Absolutely. We can absolutely agree.
So then how do you...
one moment. Let me finish speaking. You're not going to cut me
chicken to
off.
human life?
You're not going to cut me off, Joe. You do that again, I'm going to put you on mute. Can you just wait for me to finish speaking?
My bad.
We absolutely can agree that the life of a chicken is very, very different than the life of a human. Okay? And I'm not a vegan, so I don't think that the value in the life of a chicken can be equivocated to that in the life of a human. But the reason why I brought up a chicken in this circumstance was because you told me that killing life is always wrong outside of self-defense. That is a principled stance that would apply to chickens. In fact, the chickens you eat at, I don't know, Chick-fil-A.
Okay, well, can I rephrase? Killing all human life, unless in self-defense, is wrong.
You don't think that either.
Why?
Do you think that there is a state-funded and chartered genocide that is being committed at the hand of serial killer medical professionals in your local hospital and all other hospitals on the face of this planet right now?
So you're saying, okay, can you rephrase that a little bit? Or can you say that again?
I'll find another way to present the information to you. Are doctors serial killers, since it's quite typical for medical professionals working in hospitals to pull the plug on brain-dead patients, killing them?
No, because if they left them there, they would eventually die.
If you left me in this chair, would I eventually die?
No, I'm talking about the person on their deathbed. Yes, they would eventually die if you did not pull the plug.
I have a question. Does the fetus eventually die?
No, because it's
no. So fetuses are immortal.
No, because the fetus is going. Yo, bro, the fetus is eventually going to turn into a human.
Wait, no, you're the one that told me Okay, well, now we have other issues. Because you told me that abortion's wrong because it's always wrong to kill human life outside of self-defense. But then you just told me that the fetus is going to be a human in the future. So it's not a
Well,
human
okay,
right
no,
now.
what I meant
So
is
then
they're
it's
gonna
not
be
wrong to kill the fetus.
what I meant is it's going to be a full-grown human.
A full-grown human in the future. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, eventually it's going to be a baby. It's going to be able to survive outside of its mother's womb.
It's going to be able to survive outside of the mother's womb. So you're telling me that the difference between the brain dead patient and the fetus is that the brain dead patient is going to be dependent for its existence, for the rest of its existence on that life support, but the fetus won't.
Yeah, it won't be dependent for like
Okay.
the rest of it.
So now you're telling me that murder isn't like the killing of innocent human life, but it's rather something else that has to do with your future abilities.
Well,
So
yeah, I
define
guess.
murder. Because even though a brain dead patient will be dependent on life support for the rest of its survival, when a doctor pulls the plug, they are still killing a human outside of self-defense, which would still fit under your definition of murder. Okay, but you're telling me that it's not murder because of some other random concern about the sustainability of their life when not being supplied said life-saving means of life support. So redefine murder in a way that makes sense.
Okay, okay. Okay, I'll say what you said at Jubilee, the unjustified murder of a human.
Boom! There we go. We're cooking with oil. Avocado oil with the highest smoke point. The reason I don't think that it's unjustified to terminate the life of a fetus living inside of a woman's uterus is because it doesn't have the ability to deploy any level of consciousness or sentience or subjective experiences whatsoever until around 20 through 24 weeks. And for that reason, I don't attribute it any value.
Okay, so but you said you would agree that life begins at conception.
It is. It does. It's a life that I don't value.
It's a life that you don't value.
Correct. I don't think that the life of a fetus has any level of intrinsic value.
Okay, so you're not a Christian, right?
I'm not a Christian.
Okay, but put yourself in. Okay,
That's a bad idea.
Put yourself into the mind of a Christian for a second.
Okay. If I was a Christian, I'd still think that abortion should be legal. Could I tell you why?
Okay, why?
Do you agree with the New Testament when it says all sins are equal in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy?
Yes.
Should it be illegal to lie to your children telling them that Santa Claus exists?
No, but that's like a reasonable lie.
So then why should it be illegal to get an abortion? Because remember,
Well,
you just
okay.
agreed that those two sins are equally as wrong in the eyes of God.
All right, I think you've won this debate, Dean. You're definitely smarter than me. I'm gonna head out.
Before you head out, okay? Because although it feels good to win a debate, I want some type of resolution here. Could I offer you the resolution?
Okay.
The resolution to this is not that you should be atheist and reject all the Christian values that you've come to learn since your upbringing. Okay? The resolution is rather that Christianity offers no coherent basis to run a criminal justice system in the slightest. You cannot run legislation based upon your Christian beliefs because of the issue that I just pointed out. So instead, you should continue to be a Christian, value what you value, but conceive of secular standards independent from Christianity to justify why things should be legal or illegal. And this is why you could be pro-choice as a Christian. I'm not denying that it's a Christian view to say that abortion's wrong. I'm just merely stating that you could be a Christian, acknowledge that that's a decision you, Joe, would never make for yourself, while still saying that other individuals should be able to make that decision for themselves.
All right. Yeah. All right. Have a nice day, Dean.
You as well. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest.
I'm going up like 15.
What's up? Did he say he was 15? Tell me why the 15-year-old... Dude. Tell me why the 15-year-old was like the most calm, cool, and collected and like level-headed guest I've had on my live in like the last 3 days. That's crazy. That's so crazy, dude. That happens so much, I fear. It happens so much. I'm not even mad, dude. Honestly, that 15-year-old is probably gonna end up being like a really good dude when he grows up. I'm not gonna lie. If he's acting that mature at the age of 15, he has a very bright future in front of himself. I bet he's still watching. Joe, if you're still watching, you have an incredibly bright future in front of yourself. I have no doubt that you'll end up being a pretty good dude. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a moment. We got K3 loading up into the box, and yo, we just want to run through a couple donations real quick. Yo, Maria, thank you so much for the 250 Norwegian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. Says here, have some Norwegian dollars. You and Parker are the reason I'm no longer a misanthrope. I don't even know what that is. Thank you for all that you do. Well, thank you so much for the love. I love my Norwegian dollars and my Norwegian friends watching. Thank you so much for the love. W Norwegian dollars and Norwegian friends. And then also Charlotte with the $10 donation over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Charlotte. And then Kendall with the $20 donation on Venmo. Kendall says, your face right now is my face when I'm explaining to my coworkers how an email chain works. Funny message, and thank you for the love, Kendall. Then just one last donation here. Laney donated us $5 over on Venmo stating, love the vids. Thank you for the love, Laney. Now, what is going on, K3? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did, man.
You did. How old are you?
25.
25. And why did you vote for Donald J. Trump?
Well, can I firstly start by just saying thank
Oh.
you for being the least toxic
Real quick.
debater?
Well, I appreciate you for that compliment. I do want to ask
Yo.
you real quick, what time is it?
Free Palestine and Maga for Ireland. Take care.
Did you just say free Palestine, MAGA from Ireland?
Yep.
Bro, you're not MAGA.
I am.
No, I'm not even really. I just think that you have like a false conception of MAGA.
I don't. We need more right-wing conservatives in Ireland. Facts.
I'm just gonna let.
I'm pro-Palestinian.
I'm just gonna let him figure that one out on himself, on his own. I'm just gonna let him figure that one out on his own. I hopefully he does. Hopefully he figures it out. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just go and give us a minute. If you're one of the 7.8 thousand people watching live over on TikTok, make sure that you're double tapping away on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 1,000 views. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $2 on Venmo. Hey, what is going on, Rocky? Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, I did not, but my dad did. That's what I wanted to say. I don't know what to say to him when he's talking about immigration and stuff. What could be a
I got you,
way?
bro. I'm not gonna lie. The immigration topic is so incredibly vast. What I'd recommend is just watching the stream. Like, I mean, obviously, immigration is a big topic that is brought up so much. If you ever just get like an hour or two of free time, just like sit and watch. You know what I mean? You will be given so many points that you could use to debate your father. What's going on, B? Did you vote for Trump? Stage fright? I get it, man. We're going to move on to the next guest. I don't think he meant to request. Everyone, just give us a minute. If you're watching and you voted for Trump, please go ahead and hop in that queue for me. We got the next guest, Jose, loading up into the box. We're going to be trying to get in. We're going to get our next debate underway as we speak. So everyone just, be patient. Sometimes it does kind of take a minute to get the next debate going. I don't know why that's the case. I mean, there's like 50 million Americans that voted for Trump. Millions of those Americans use TikTok every day. Hundreds of thousands of those Americans see my TikToks every single day. But then for whatever reason, every day we only get like 10 of those people that actually want to come up here and debate, which is always quite funny. Daniel, what's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
Age, please. I think he's a child, so we're just gonna go to move on. Then we got Jacob loading in. I don't know if Jacob is gonna load in, so we're also just gonna load in a couple other guests. By the way, hey, if you're watching the stream and you don't want to support me, keep the studio running for 4 hours a day, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my TikTok bio. That's a really good way to support me. I get 100% of the proceeds on those platforms. You can also find those in the pinned message over on YouTube, as well as you can support me over Super Chat. What is up, Rio? Did you vote for Trump?
My Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my TikTok bio. That's a really good one.
Okay, sorry, they had a very crazy echo.
Oh,
There's actually two people. There's actually two people with a really crazy echo. Oh my God, there's a fetus with an echo. I'm so sorry, you guys. We're going to go to get that next guest loaded in right now. Everyone just be patient while we get them loaded in. We got Ice Cube loaded in as we speak. Here we go, you guys. Here we go. Alrighty. Looking for that next guest. That was wild. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on today. What's up, Witters? Did you vote for Trump?
Oh shit! No request. Oh, my bad. My bad.
No worries, no worries, no worries. It's a Brit. It's a Brit. It's a Brit. It's a Brit. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest. We got Amy loading up, guys. Please, if you're in that queue, make sure that you voted for Trump. Know the rules and respect them, please. Hello, Amy. Did you vote for Trump? Amy automatically dropped. All right, we got Marquis loading up. We got Jess loading up. We got Jill loading up. We're gonna get a bunch of the cool guests up here. We got Oscar. We got Sammy. Oh my gosh, guys. We are hopefully gonna be able to get our next debate ASAP. Here we go. What's up, John? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
All right, John. How do you?
I'm 21.
21. All right, Mr. John, go ahead and tell us all, why did you do it? Why did you vote for Trump?
I've only really voted him for because he's a Republican, but I don't really support Trump as a person. But
So let me get this straight. At the end of the day, party loyalty is of the utmost importance to you.
not really. I just preferred him over Kamala Harris.
Okay, but if you don't place much of a preface on party loyalty, then obviously what drove you to have a preference for him over Harris isn't the fact that he's a Republican and she's a Democrat, but rather because of some facts of his policy, of his plans for a country, foreign affairs, character, etc. So what about Trump makes him a better candidate than Kamala Harris apart from his party label? Okay, well, I guess John decided to head out, so we're gonna go and get that next guest up here. We got Sammy loading in. John hit it and dipped. What's up, Sammy? Sammy, I'm gonna give you about 5 seconds here to say what's up. Sammy, hit the road pretty quick. We're gonna go to get Tom up here. I always find it so intriguing how unwilling guests are to join. What's up, Tom? How we doing?
Hey, I wanted to ask about your
Did
stance
you
between
did you
Israel
vote-
and Palestine.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did not. I'm not American. I was just curious about your stance about the Israel and Palestine war.
Okay, I'm well, it's not a war. I'm pro-Palestine.
Well,
But
yeah,
I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't join my queue unless you are a Trump supporter. You guys, please just go ahead and respect that war. Go ahead and respect that rule for me. Please just go ahead and respect that rule for me. We're gonna get that next guest up here. What is going on, Ryan? Ryan with a $10 super chat over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, Ryan. You're awesome. What's going on, Jackson? Did you vote for Trump?
No, hey man, I just want to say I appreciate what you do.
Jackson, that's very kind of you. We're going to go to move on to the next guest as we are just looking for the debates, but I appreciate you for your kindness, Mr. Jackson. Wow. Okay. All right. Hey, we're going to go and rage debate the Republicans real quick. So there is 8.5 thousand people watching this stream. A good 3,000 to 4,000 people in here are raging conservatives that voted for Trump. You are all spineless as you're terrified of coming up here and debating me. The soy boy called you scared. What are you going to do about it? Well, there's only one thing you can do about it. That one thing would be you getting in the guest requests right now to come up here to debate me. That's the only thing you could do right now to not get dunked on by the soy boy. What is going on, Rua? Did you vote for Trump?
Hey Dean, I have a question on your
No. I appreciate you for coming up here wanting to ask a question. Right now, just for the time being, because we haven't talked to any Trump voter yet today, because I guess that first guy was 15. We are only looking for a Trump voter right now, okay? We've been live for around 43 minutes, and insofar as this whole 45-minute span, we haven't had one actual Trump voter. I mean, we did have somebody pose as one, but it just turned out to be a kid. You understand what I mean. What's up, Scoobert? Did you vote for Trump?
Oh, I'm on?
Yeah, did you vote for Trump?
Okay, hold on. Yes, I did actually.
Okay, are you driving at the moment?
No, I was playing GTA in the background. I didn't think I was gonna get in for a while, actually.
Well, no worries. You're here now. Real quick before we start our conversation.
All right.
One moment. I need to thank Sniffles
for
the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Everyone, show some love to Sniffles. Sniffles says, started watching you about a week ago and you give me so much hope for a future. Much love to you. Much love to you as well, Sniffles. Thank you for the kind message. I love you so much. Everyone, show some love to Sniffles down below. As well as Joanne with the $10 over on PayPal. Charlotte with the $10. Jasmine with the 20 and Jasmine with the 20 cents. You guys are being so kind today. But go ahead and take it away, Scoobert. Tell us why Donald Trump was a better presidential candidate than Kamala Harris and why he still has your support today after the last month and a half of straight bullshit.
The main reason that I ended up Trump, which it was actually the first time I ever voted, so it was a little bit heavy on me personally. The reason I ended up voting for him was because I felt like Kamala, if she really wanted the vote, she should have actually been doing this stuff because she was the vice president throughout Joe Biden's presidency. She could have definitely employed a lot of the stuff that she was beginning to promise at the end. And I feel like if she began to implement all of that, then she would have had my support. Because it's one thing to say things, but it's another to actually get them done. And if she actually implemented the things that she promised, I would have probably voted for her. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay,
That's
well,
really why.
I just want to clarify. Well, first, like the argument that you're giving us is just like a catch-22. So you can't promise something that you've already done. Okay, because if
Could you repeat
already,
that real quick?
So you can't promise that
didn't
you'll
hear
do something in the future if it's something that you've already done. I think that we just need to make that clear. So every human that runs for the presidency in America has to run for the said presidency on a platform of things that they want to do for our country in the 4 years that follow their inauguration. Okay, but you cannot run on a platform of things that you've already done because, definitionally speaking, a presidential platform is supposed to convey what they will do over the next 4 years. So you could have, like, no matter what Kamala Harris has done in the course of the last 4 years, you could still hold the same critique. Because if she implemented the $25,000 subsidy for first-time homebuyers under Biden, she would have just replaced it with the policies she hasn't. If she implemented tax policy for 100 million Americans in the low and the middle class under Biden, she would replace that with a tax policy that she hasn't implemented.
Okay.
You always run on things that you haven't already done because the things that you run on convey what you want to do in the future.
Okay, no, that is a really good point, actually. But the main thing is that she could have started implementing these things, and people would have been like, oh, okay, she's getting these things done. She actually wants to make life better for all of us. She's doing these things. She's taking affirmative action. She has my vote. After seeing this, she definitely has what she has today. Oh, God, I stuttered there.
So even when you say that she could have started implementing these things, the critique that I gave you still applies. If she already implemented them, she wouldn't be running on them at all. How about this? Here's what I think you mean to say. She could have passed good policies alongside Biden in the last 4 years, and that would have demonstrated to the American people that she's a capable leader that is able to get shit done. How about that?
Yeah, that actually you explained it pretty well,
There you go.
actually, of
There you
what I
go.
was trying
There you
to
go.
convey. Thank you.
Of course, no, of
And
course, man. That's what I do.
appreciate you doing that to having people
Scuba.
coming on here to explain and everything. You know?
Scuba, you got some pretty crazy lag there, man. How about this? Are you saying that she hasn't done much in the last
I'm sorry.
Are you saying that she hasn't done much in the last 4 years because you genuinely can't think of anything that she's done?
I can't think of anything insanely noticeable that she has truly done by herself or anything that is widely known or that is very visible to the American people.
Question time.
Okay.
Name one thing any vice president has ever done. Name one thing any vice president has ever done in all of the Name one thing any vice president has ever done in American history.
In American history?
Yes.
Are we talking like very modern American history? Or are we talking like all of American history here?
All of American history. Name one thing any VP's ever done.
Okay, in American history, there was Lyndon B. Johnson and how he continued all of JFK's plans after his assassination.
Well, at that point, he was president.
Well, yes, he became president.
So name one thing. So name one thing that any vice president has ever done as a function of their vice presidency under the administration of their president.
Okay, under the administration of their
one thing
president.
a vice president has ever done.
A vice president. Okay, a vice president. Let us. Damn, you got me here. I'm not gonna lie. You completely have me stumped. You've beaten me.
The reason I ask you this question is because of this simple fact. Vice presidents do things, but the average American really has no incentive to know what the hell they're doing. Why would the average American that's working a job to provide for themselves and their family, maybe even put themselves through school to get a degree, to have a future career, be concerned with what the hell the vice president is doing at all? You're really just concerned with the efficacy of the administration. So I don't fault you for that, nor do I fault really anybody watching this stream that doesn't know a damn thing any VP's ever done either. But the reason I bring this up is because I do find it quite hypocritical for you to say, because you can't name one thing that Kamala Harris has done, this must mean that she was a very ineffective vice president that has no real qualifications to be a president of her own. Meanwhile, you can't name anything any vice president has ever done in history. But if you're curious, Kamala Harris was a very good vice president to her country. Here's a couple of things she's done. She passed the most tie-breaking votes in the Senate out of any vice president we've ever had, as well as she worked alongside Biden to pass some of the most monumental legislation in modern U.S. history, such as the PACT Act, such as the Infrastructure Bill, such as the Inflation Reduction Act, such as the American Rescue Plan, etc. And I think that's a good place to start. Take it away. You know what? I actually have a follow-up question. Can I ask you a question? I'm so sorry. A new argument just came into my mind. Go ahead and click on your profile picture. Click the icon on the mic.
Oh,
I got a great question for you.
I just figured out that I was muted.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay, you got a lot of lag. Honestly, I don't even know how we're having a coherent conversation, but it's kind of working out, so I'll just leave it. Real quick, what's one policy that Donald Trump influenced to get passed through Congress and signed into law under his first administration?
Under his first administration.
Yes, the name of a real actual policy.
Okay, a real actual policy. He was... I don't have the official policy name. I don't have that pulled up right now. But there was the policy where he was beginning to...
He left. I didn't kick him. You guys. I swear I didn't kick him. I guess like you would have seen my hands, you would have heard something. If you're watching over on YouTube, you were able to see both of my hands. You could see I didn't kick him. It's possible he lagged out. We're going to move on to the next guest. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of like flesh out where that argument was going. It's unlikely that he would have been able to name a policy passed under Donald Trump's first administration, which would usher in his own critique that because he doesn't know anything that he did therefore do nothing, which under his view would mean he shouldn't have supported Trump. We're going to move on to the next guest. If you're in that queue, you guys, make sure that you voted for Trump. I'd also like to thank a couple people for donations while we get that next guest loaded up into the live right now. But go ahead and hop in that queue if you did. We got Marcus loading in, but we'll also try to get Brad loaded in. We're going to try to get Brody loaded in. We're going to try to get a bunch of people loaded in here. But I'd really like to thank Jennifer with a $5 super chat over on YouTube, Rachel with the $7 over on YouTube, Eliza with a 5, Rachel with a 4, and Shiloh with a $20 super chat over on YouTube. Everybody show some love to Shiloh in that chat. Shiloh says, incredible solution for Joe. Dean, you give me hope. Thank you. No, thank you for the donation, Shiloh, and thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you. And then Phipps with the £5 as well. And I also would like to thank Rhea with a 1 cent over on PayPal. Thank you, Rhea. And then Chelsea with the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you, Chelsea and Rhea. Everybody, please show some love to our donors. And then also Ruya, R-U-Y-A, with the 300 TRY. I have no idea what currency that is, but that's so cool. Thank you, Ruya. They say, my cousins voted for Trump, saying it's because of the homelessness. I'm not so sure of the U.S. I'd like to learn more. Well, in a nutshell, he's worse for homelessness as he's decreasing the purchasing power of every American that makes under $395,000 per year. As well as I'd also, real quick before we hop into this next debate, like to thank Sierra with the $20 donation on Venmo. Sierra says, so much love for you and Parker. It's been a part of my daily routine. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Sierra. 200 Sierra W's. And what's up, Brad? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
All right, Mr. Brad, go ahead and tell us all why you decided to vote for the worst presidential candidate in modern American history.
Yeah, I voted for Trump so my SNAP benefits would increase.
So you voted for Trump for better social safety nets?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go on Google. Is Trump hurting SNAP benefits? Cool. So this actually comes from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, as well as the Center for American Progress, where they say that the Trump administration could leave more families hungry by cutting SNAP benefits through the new House Republicans appropriations bill for further funding. Not to mention that they also cut SNAP benefits totaling to 20 to 30% under his first administration.
But he hasn't done any cuts yet, right?
Yes, he cut 25 to 30% of SNAP benefits under his first administration.
But I live in Ohio, and I just seen them increase every time he comes in.
So you think that Donald Trump is good for low-income Americans?
No, he's good for me right now.
Sir, I'm going to go ahead and assume that if you are on SNAP benefits, you're obviously going to fall below certain income thresholds to meet eligibility requirements, meaning that you are a low-income American. So Donald Trump is very bad for low-income Americans. So he's actually going to make you pay significantly more in effective taxes this year compared to last just by the implementation of his tariffs. His tax plan takes money from poor people and gives it to rich people, ironically. My source on this would be the Institute on Economics and Taxation.
Yeah.
Feel free to, give me a cogent rebuttal to that as you see fit. No, he just left. Okay. We're going to move on to our next guest, Lucas. Everyone just give us a minute. And Karen, oh my God. Karen, thank you so much for the $25 donation over on PayPal. Everybody show some love to Karen. Karen says, go to law school, please. You know what? Honestly, if this whole political debater thing doesn't work out for me, I will just become a lawyer straight up and start advocating for civil rights with the ACLU or something. I'd actually find that to be quite interesting. Molly with a $5 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Molly. All right, what is going on, Lucas? Did you vote for Trump?
No, fuck you.
Lucas is angry. Okay, goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. I should have let him up here to explain why he didn't like me, but I don't know. I guess I really am just looking for some debates. We're going to go to get Max loaded up. We're going to go to get Joanne loaded up. We got a bunch of people loading up. Hopefully we'll get our next debate underway ASAP. So everybody just going to give us a minute. What is going on, Max? Did you vote for Trump? Mr. Max. Max is not here. Okay, we're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go. We got Cud loading up in the box. By the way, I'd like to point out, you guys, the TikTok stream is very prone to get taken down. Echo.
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 Hello.
Echo.
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 Sorry, the echo's just way too bad, man. The TikTok stream is very prone to get taken down, so if you do want to continue to watch me, if my stream were to get banned, I am also dual streaming on YouTube, as we speak. So the very easiest solution for you is to head over to the YouTube account. Yeah, we're going to go and get the next guest, Shannon, up in the box right now, everybody. So if you are in that queue, make sure that you voted for Trump, everyone, as we are just looking for some debates, y'all. We're going to get that next debate up here right now. We got Aiden loading into the box. So everybody just do go ahead and be real patient for me. What is up, Aiden? Did you vote for Trump?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, how do you?
Oh, I'm 21. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't actually vote this past election, but I kind of wanted to just get your viewpoints on some stuff, because I am pretty uneducated, but I wanted you to persuade me, because I just didn't really like either candidates. I didn't fully I just didn't really like either candidates. But the only problem I'm having with the Democrats is more so I am just a straight white male. I don't I just always get perceived as the bad guy, I feel a lot of times, but I don't know. I also don't obviously support Trump and a lot of his takes on some things. And then the last point I'll say is I don't really stand for a lot of the pushing stuff on children. My biggest thing is everything should be after 18. So the whole transitioning under 18 is kind of weird to me and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, well, first of all, we just simply cannot talk about TSUs on the live. There's already a chance that you're going to get a flag. I'm going to get a flag and the stream could get taken down.
Okay.
It is seriously just that bad. But I would typically kick people that come up here and say that they didn't vote. But I do want to go and talk to you because what do you mean that you're the bad guy because you're a straight white guy? Did you know I'm a straight white guy?
Yeah, but a lot of times, I don't know when
So I have a question. Do you think that the left views Dean Withers as evil?
No,
no, but I'm a straight white guy. Why don't they view me as evil?
Because you've already you've already voiced so much of your opinions on you've been very strong about a lot of your opinions.
So we've just come to a very important revelation. So it's not the fact that you're a straight white guy that people on the left don't like you, but it's rather the beliefs, preferences, thoughts, and attitudes that you hold.
But I really don't voice any opinions though. Like it's like and like I don't like I don't know, I don't have any strong opinions on everything, but I feel like sometimes when I make little comments, like it's immediately just it's not like obviously they say, "Oh, you're a straight white male," but I feel like I'm just looked at as the bad guy.
Like what comments?
Like sometimes when I do voice my opinions on like say stuff with like maybe the like obviously the female like the
Okay. Well, he's just gonna go back into talking about T issues. We unironically cannot talk about T issues on the live, guys. It gets the live taken down. TikTok is so sensitive right now. I don't know why. Like these streams are getting taken down literally every single fucking day. So we did just go ahead and remove him. I understand that, you know, maybe that wasn't preferable to a lot of the people watching, but unfortunately it's just something that we need to do to protect and preserve the stream. So, all right, we're going to go to get that next guest up in here right now. You guys, if you are watching and you want to support me, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal and the link tree in the bio. Everyone, just going to give us a minute, y'all. We got Gary loading up into the stream. We also got Carol, Jean loading up into the stream. We got everybody loading in as we speak. So do be patient, you guys. Do be patient. While we get that next guest loaded in, Natty with $5 over on YouTube Studio and Dora with the 1,000 HUF. Wow. Okay, all right. We're going to move on to our next guest right now. Everyone just go ahead and give us a minute. If you're in that queue, make sure that it means you voted for Trump. What is going on? Julie, sorry. Did you vote for Trump?
Julia, it's actually Julia, yeah. I'm sorry for my voice. I've been just after surgery for my cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
so sorry. Did you vote for Trump?
Of course not. I'm from Ukraine.
Hey, I don't want you to have to talk and hurt your throat.
Yeah.
I love you so much. I think that you're awesome.
Thank you so much.
We are only looking to debate people that voted for Trump, but just know that you're like very loved in this space, and also very strong. And I hope that you heal up quickly. What's up, Aiden? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I did.
All right, Aiden. Before we hop into our debate, there, my man, I got to go and thank a couple people for their donations. Yo, Delane, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on Venmo. That is DYLANE. Everybody, please show some love to Delane. Thank you so much. Tree with the $25 donation over on Venmo, and Leah with a 10. Everybody, show some love to Delane, Tree, and Leah. W Delane, W Tree, and W Leah. Now, shifting back to you, Mr. Aiden. Go ahead and tell us why you voted for Trump and why you still support him after the last month and a half of absolute nonsense.
Because he's not Kamala. That's why I voted for him.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to be as mature as you possibly can be. Is that a fair request?
Yeah, but don't kick me off, though, please. That just means you're scared.
I'm not going to kick you. I'm not going to kick you. I'm just going to ask you to be as mature as you possibly can be and tell us.
I mean, why are you saying that?
It's a preemptive, precautionary measure. That's all. Don't worry about it.
For no reason?
For the reason that I think that there's a possibility that you're very immature.
Why do you think that?
Because you just told us that you voted for the rapist with regressive economic policy that hurts anybody making under $395,000 per year, that wants to literally throw the Constitution out the window and become a dictator and erase history while hurting other countries as well as their allies and the people in those countries, like the 2.1 million Palestinians living on the Gaza Strip because he's not Kamala Harris. And then you pronounced her name, and I don't know, you're just kind of coming at me with a little bit of a pompous, snarky attitude. I didn't want to get into that, but you asked.
I mean, I just said he's not Kamala, but if you think that's attitude, then...
Tell me why. Tell me what about Kamala Harris is so bad.
Because she's a bitch.
Okay. Why do you think that? I guess what do you mean by the term?
Because she's female.
Oh, because she's a woman.
Yes.
Okay, so you think men are better at leading than women?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's always been like that. Why you get elected if he's so bad?
So you're saying that men have always been better at leading?
Nah,
than women.
why do you get elected if he's so bad?
Because sometimes candidates who aren't the best option get elected. Are you telling me that you thought that Biden was better than Trump in 2020? Are you telling me that you thought Obama was better than McCain?
That's why Trump's
are you
now.
telling me are you telling me that you thought that Bush was better than Al Gore? Are you telling me that whenever somebody wins an election, they're obviously the better pick?
I'm not getting muted, bro.
Because you interrupted me, Aiden, and I asked you to be mature. So now we're going to go back to the question, and I want you to tell me or explain to me why men are better at leading than women. What are the differences between men and women that make men better at leading?
So you think women are better?
Aiden, I don't think that we can make broad sweeping generalizations on who's better at leading predicated on their gender identity. But if you had a pew pew to my head and I was forced to give you my take, I'd say on average, yes. Why don't I go ahead and tell you why? Let's switch this argument up. Women are more intelligent on average. Women have more emotional regulation on average. Women are less likely to engage in emotional, reckless behaviors, such as violent crime, such as drunk driving or gambling, not to mention that they're more sound in a consideration of logic and strategy, and that's why they outperform men in the context of short-term trading in the stock market and in STEM-related fields such as surgery. So if I had to make an evaluation with a pew-pew to the head, there it is. But at the end of the day, I think it's wrong to say that one gender is better at leading than the other.
No, for sure. But like, you'd rather have a woman lead the country rather than a man. That's what you're saying.
I don't choose a leader based upon their gender identity.
I'm not saying that, but you'd rather have that.
I choose a leader based
If it was
upon
up
what
to
they
you,
want
if
to
it
do
was up to
for the
you.
country.
If it was up to you.
This is like you asking me, would I rather have somebody with red shoes run the country than somebody with blue shoes? I don't think, as I've already stated, that
I'm not talking
one's
about colors or shoes, bro. I'm talking about genders.
But I'm saying that the color of somebody's shoes is just as irrelevant to their ability to be able to lead as one's gender is. I don't think that gender identity gives us any type of reference insofar as how good somebody is at leading or not at leading. But I did give you an argument that would lead to the conclusion that women are better at leading. Can you tell me the differences between men and women that make men better at leading?
Because women trip more than men.
They do what more than men?
They trip.
They trip? What do you mean by trip?
Like, they just trip out.
When you say like trip out, are you referring to like high levels of emotion?
Yeah, like being overstimulated and shit.
No, men experience higher levels of emotions with more emotional reactions than women. Why do men commit 92% of all violent crimes, including violent crimes that wouldn't include like physical strength, such as cyberbullying with threats of violence?
Because there's more pressure on us than there are women.
To do what?
To like be better.
To be better? So you're saying because people want men to not be to be good, therefore men bad?
No, bruh.
No, bruh. So then why do men commit 92% of violent crimes?
Because that's just what it is.
I just want to point out that what you just told us was like incredibly fucking wrong. I mean I could just there's more pressure on men in society to be better than women, and how incredibly fucking wrong is like that is. Hey man, all that I want you to do. Okay. Yeah. Goodbye, Aiden.
Nah, that's crazy.
Sorry, he got us an FYP restriction, so we had to move on. Like all that I want you to do is like literally go ask your grandma about like classes that she had to take in school for like what is it called? I don't know. I've had my grandma explain this to me. Like there straight up used to be classes for young women on how to be proper, like on how to act proper in a society. Like there's always been more pressure on women to be like better, quote unquote, compared to women, compared to men. What's up, AMA? Did you vote for Trump? Etiquette. Yes, etiquette classes. Yes. Unironically, go ask your fucking grandma about etiquette classes, okay? Like, for so long in America, like, women had to seriously go through etiquette classes to learn how to be, like, a proper woman. And you're gonna sit here and tell me that men are held to a higher standard to be better than women in society? Be so fucking for real. What's going on I'm just gonna call you the official. What's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
You did? How old are you?
26.
26, great. Before we hop into our debate, I want to go ahead and thank Sandra for the 15 pounds over on YouTube Super Chat, saying much love from Germany. I do really appreciate you for that love, Sandra. Everybody, please show some love to Sandra down below in that chat, literally right now. Thank you so much, Sandra. You are awesome. Huge shout out to Sandra. All right, man, go ahead and tell us why you voted for Trump.
I'm all about ethnic cleansing, yo.
You're not about ethnic cleansing? I'm guessing.
No, I said I'm all about it, 100%.
Are you rage baiting?
No, I'm being dead ass.
Okay, so why do you think ethnic cleansing is good? I mean, I'm surprised that those words are coming out of my mouth, but here we are.
Get them out of there.
Okay, why?
Why not?
Why not? Because it's a human rights violation. There's one reason,
Fuck
right?
it.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Okay, fuck it. Why? Sophia, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I do really appreciate you for the love. I just want to ask you a quick question here. How many continents are there?
1,100.
Yeah. And how many branches of government are
there? Trace.
3? Can you name them?
Yeah, sure.
Do it.
So you got the executive branch, you got the judicial branch, and then you got the legislative branch.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched you wait for the chat to be able to name them until you did. I would also like to ask you one last question here. When do they celebrate 4th of July in the UK?
On the 5th of July.
The 4th of July is a specifically American holiday.
Obviously.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share with us why Donald Trump is a better candidate than Kamala Harris?
No, that was it.
No, that was it. Could you spell ethnic cleansing? No.
ETHNICCLEANISNG.
I have no fucking clue what he spelled, but it definitely wasn't ethnic cleansing. We're going to move on to the next guest here. Everybody just going to give us a minute, y'all. What's going on? Bobby, did you vote for Trump? Bobby, hello? Okay, well, Bobby just dipped, so we're going to move on to the next guest. Everybody just go and give us a minute, y'all. Hey, by the way, if you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in the bio over here on TikTok or in the pinned message on YouTube, or you could also support through Super Chat. Hey, what is going on, Kevin? Did you vote for Trump?
I actually vote for Kanye.
Okay, bro. What is up with all the rage baiters?
Nah, I'm dead. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next guest, bro. Did anybody see like the interview? Like, I'm not gonna say anything more than that because I don't want to give it unnecessary advertisement. But if you know, you know, dude. Holy shit. I mean, you guys like all know my thoughts on Kanye, but like, he's so corny. Like, you all know my thoughts. You don't even ask me. Of course it's insane. Of course it's so bad. Of course it's racist. Of course it's like all of these terrible things. But like, he is so fucking corny. That was such a hard watch, not only because of what he was saying, because of how goddamn corny he is. I'm evil. Oh my God.